raise my eyes to the wild blue yonder. They can't believe what I see, and it makes me wonder what's falling down on me. The sky, the sky, the sky's falling.
Testing 1, 2. I don't know if you can hear me. I guess. Hello? Can you hear me now? Testing 1, 2. I don't know if you can hear me. I guess. Hello? Can you hear me now? Oh, I guess I got my voice back. Testing 1, 2. I don't know if you can hear me. I guess. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me now? Oh, I guess I got my voice back. Testing 1, 2. All right, people. I'm going to have to start over. Sorry about that. If you're still here, thank you for sticking around. All right. I can open for questions. Anybody wants to ask questions, debate anything, fine as well. Let's get down and dirty. I started talking about what Mr. Trump's planning on doing about aliens, what happened in the UFO world, what's happening with all the aspects of whistleblowers and what's coming out. I'll tell you this, 99% of it's lies, stories, and nothing important for the world to know. People will be sorry that they were begging for the UFO information to come out because there is nothing good within it. Aliens are not here to save mankind or help mankind do anything good moving forward. I was in it all my life. All right. I was a high priest when I was young, learning about the psychic abilities. All right. I pulled out of it. I realized psychic abilities cannot be used wisely today on this planet. If one person had an incredible ability, they would probably take over a lot of things. Levitation in the future, all those things could change reality instantly. Nikola Tesla, all right, worked with the alien race, people. You don't have to believe it. But all his inventions didn't come from going to a college or learning it from school. All right. He gave the United States government 50 of the most deadliest weapons, which they're using, and they're using them on the United States. Don't forget, Hawaii is part of the United States. All right. But now, with Musk and Trump together, we got two evils. I don't know what you would call it, a horrible mix of power and super ego. Each thinking they're making the world a better place or can make it better. Well, you know the old saying, you're here, and the most important thing is to understand and love yourself. Not love the whole world, love the planet. If you can't love yourself, you're not going to be able to love anything else outside of that. All right? So, well, where we're going with war is horrible. Where we're going with global warming is horrible. Where we're going with the way mankind treats animals, I mean, they have a soul, and they do have feelings, emotions, and all that. Different animals have more than others. Dogs have a real lot. Some animals could really develop friendship with people. But to kill them and eat them, and basically mankind eats anything that moves on this planet, somewhere on this planet. Disgusting. I mean, Moses had laws about what you could eat, but he created so many laws on top of the 10 Commandments, 63 to be exact. All right. The Hasidic Jewish people supposedly have to live by them, which is impossible. Read the laws. Go in the Bible. Read the Old Testament. All right. Now, the truth is, the New Testament is different than what people believe it to be. It goes on about what man thinks and says and does and all that, what man says Jesus said and did and all that. But it doesn't go into the truth. I mean, my new book just came out. It goes into that. But here's the thing, people. You cannot teach people love. It's an experience. If you can't experience it, you'll never know what it is. All right? Well, the word human love. Now, when we talk about what else can you experience, pain, suffering, all those things, that all comes from the brain. Now they're saying they found a new level of awareness of what? A universe, that we're part of a universe. Now, I'm not going to get into it too heavy about Buddhist teachings about what everything is, where it comes from, where it goes, and what all that. Basically, Buddha didn't believe in God. He put everything as universal energy. All right, we all become part of this one thing. And I said, if that was true, I wouldn't even want to be here. I'd say burn me and my soul up completely, take me out of existence, because I would not want to go there when I leave this body. And I'm not, but people that follow certain things, I live with a Buddhist Lama, and it's really hard. When you deal with somebody that doesn't believe in a God, it's hard. When you deal with people that don't believe in the truth about religion, it's hard. Living with people that have a programmed idea of truth is really hard. Death, reincarnation, rebirth, and all those words, if you don't experience it, you don't know what they are. To know that you leave this body and go somewhere, you'd have to experience it. And then where you go, making sure that it's not you in a dream state. Well, I went through all that, so I'm not telling stories. I don't lie. And everything I say, I put my life on the line because I believe it totally and know it's true, or I wouldn't say it. Only person I'm accountable to is God. No matter what happens to me, no matter where I go, no matter what I do, the only thing that I'm accountable to is God. Not the Pope, the President, the laws of a town, a state. No, not at all. When the president tells people to go out, join the army and kill people, and you have to do it, is that spiritual in any way? Well, we have to, the native people tried to defend themselves, but whatever they had, they came in with more incredible weapons to kill them all. They killed 50 Native Americans, 50 million Native American people. But getting back to Trump, he doesn't talk about it. I mean, when he was president leaving, and when he was talking about the election coming up, he said, all Native people love me. And he had somebody dressed up as a Native saying, oh, yes, all Native people love him. I don't know one Native person that truly loves Trump. And I'm talking about a full Native person, not a half-breed, which means only one of their parents is Native, because then they get a lot of brainwashed, programmed ideas from white, black, red. The red race is not the same as the yellow race. All right. Now, do you want to go into details about things like that? What do you want to do right now? You should be fighting about ICE, number one. And then taking money from seniors. Let's starve the elderly people and kill them. Let's get rid of the elders. Let's get rid of the sick. And let's get rid of the young. Realize war was created to get rid of people. Usually young people. Sure, some people stayed in for a long time. Most people got out in 2 or 3 years. But you can go in at 17. In Vietnam, they were going in fighting at 14. And these people were killing 14-year-old kids with guns. Why? Because they wanted to? Of course not. They were all forced to do what they did and believe they had to do it. Well, it's my country. I got to stand up for it. Well, when we're killing people in other countries, what does that have to do with protecting your country? Now, with this idea of war very much coming up, Iraq, Iran, and the power and who we support, Europe, what's going on with them, they're not going to agree. None of them agree with Trump. He thinks he's going to have all these armies. He's not. And Putin himself said, if you take over Greenland, there'll be a nuclear war. And it may destroy the planet. So guess what? We're in trouble. Are you looking at it? You're going to sit back. Everything's going to be okay. Well, just to show you how scenarios are lies, Tibetan people were begging for help for many years. United States, England, all other countries, Finland, Greenland, you name it, anybody that could help them. Nobody helped them. You know why? Because they had nothing to offer back. If they were given gold, oil, anything like that, they would have helped them. but they had nothing to give us. So nobody helped Tibet. What happened? China went inside Tibet, destroyed 250 temples, killed many lamas, raped the women, and it's owned by China now. Just so you know, people. And if you watch the newest video, my partner had it on TV this morning, what's going on there. The women are probably 10 times worse than women in the United States ever were. And we call us good people. We have an open country. We had it open for people to come in, which is what Trump's upset about. How'd he get in here? Who brought him here? Who brought his father here? Who brought his grandfather here? I know my father came in on a boat when all the people came into New York City. All right, all those names are on that wall, the people that came in on that boat. All right. Not my father, my grandfather, I should say, sorry, on my father's side. All right. But people that came in, all their names are put on that wall. Like, oh, yeah, they're really the United States people now. Well, they're not. The Native people still have the right and should have the right to own the United States. They should be taxing us, not us, what we did to them. Again, I brought this up before and the volume wasn't on. I don't know what happened. But what happened is the Native people were put on reservations. I'm sure you know that story. They put them on the worst land in the United States, knowing in their own mind they would die, which didn't happen. But they killed 50 million Native Americans, left less than 1 million true Native people left inside the United States. Well, they managed to survive. They found a cure for cancer. They have a cure for a lot of things, people. But you think they're willing to give it to the people that drugged them and did all kinds of things to their children? Don't take my word for it. Biden, last week before he left presidency, I told them, I'm not going to tell it again. But what they did to the Native people, what they did to the Native children, I mean, it's kind of just as bad as what they're doing to the children today that are going back to their country or being forced to leave the country and all that. It's so pathetic. A free country means free to come in. Well, you got to do this, you got to do that. That's Congress. That's the government. When people came, like when Columbus came, not to the United States, but when he came searching for a country, and he had all the criminals on his boat. You think Italy wanted to give him the good people? My friend was Cuban. I worked for the phone company. He had to pay $50,000 to get his sister here. He was paying $50,000 to get his mother here. And what do you think happened? Oh, no, she's a worker. You got to give us more money. He had to come up with another $25,000. All right, to leave their country. Then they could pay to take good people, but you want the drug addicts, the homeless, and the poor people, take them. Go right ahead. People, are you aware how women were treated all through history? And Mr. Rumpo is really trying to change that right now. Going after the gay people. All right. Going after people in sports. It's like saying, if you could drive a truck, whether you're male or female, doesn't matter. If you could shoot a gun, doesn't matter if you're male or female. If you could do the same things that a man can do, or a man can do the same thing a woman does, should it be separate? I don't know. I was kind of leery about that in the beginning. But when people do what they're supposed to do to get there, it's a different story. All right. So when Trump's actually going to try to make it harder for women to vote, ICE is going to be trying to screw as many people as they can, stop as many people as they can. He's going down on a mail-in vote. Not that I believe in a mail-in vote, because if you're too lazy to go out and vote, you're just too lazy. If you care about the system and who's getting in and all that, you need to go out and vote. But here's the twist that people don't look at, and it should have been stopped a long time ago. People, where's your brains? The electoral vote was created by George Washington and those people Jefferson was against it. All right. He liked white people. He didn't like Native people. But he created a lot of bills and all that when he became president. But he was the greatest Native American killer, traveling the whole southern United States, killing every tribe he could. George Washington, every time he gave the order to free one tribe, he gave the order to kill another tribe. All right, and then Wounded Knee is a disaster story. And the only reason I don't know if you believe in reincarnation, you probably don't. But in reincarnation, I was there. All right. All they killed was women and children. There were about 5 men on the reservation when they attacked it. And all the men were out fighting already. So, our history is really, really bad. Will they tell the truth? Now, if Trump supposedly coming out with truth about UFOs and aliens, not going to happen. They cannot admit what they were really doing from the 50s on. All right. No matter what you hear, it's going to be twisted lies. Now, the things you should be looking at, and these are important things that nobody talks about. Trump, Congress, all these organizations, global peace, global warming, and all those people do not talk about a real problem. What's causing it? We have real problems, but nobody knows what's causing it. I'm not going to go into that. That's maybe another day, but we have 5 major reasons for global warming. Not natural, I'm talking about. Fire, earthquakes, and tornadoes and things like that. It's a different story. But what we're doing to create global warming, the words like chemtrails, HAARP system, and things like that. People don't even know what they are or believe that they're even real. And then to tell you how bad it gets, Tesla brought a lot of horrible, dangerous weapons to the United States. He gave them 50. The HAARP system being one of the worst weapons on the planet. Directed energy beam is another bad word, which they're using. People, everything going on right now is twisted. The Epstein files is the most important thing that needs to be brought out and brought down. Everyone that's involved in any way in that in jail. If you don't agree with that, people, you should be in jail to support rape of children, sales of children, rape of young women, all those things. If you support that, you're sick, mentally disturbed. You should be taken off of the planet, put in a ship and sent out into space with Trump and everybody that is involved with that. Even Musk is involved in it. When Gates came out, said he was sorry, and these people, like when the prince came out, and now he's going to have to serve court and all that. All right. Other countries are not going to support Mr. Trump. When this all goes down, as it's coming out, realize they release supposedly 3 million files, but they're not going to release the other 3 million. Why is that? Well, and I'm not going to say the Turkey's name, but she said, "Oh, if we took everybody out of the Epstein files out, the country would collapse." Well, maybe that's what it really needs. Congress doesn't support what we as people want. What do you think? Do you think people would raise taxes on medicine, food, things like that? Do you think we need to pay for the government's buying spaceships and underground cities and all those kind of things? They built a spaceship. It cost $44 billion. It has a lot of Tesla weapons on it. You don't hear anybody talking about that. Why? Musk brags about everything he makes. Well, I made a jet. It's faster than any jet the United States or any other country has. Big deal. Who's going to get it? Who's going to use it? When a person like Musk creates something, who is he selling it to? Now, China has 2 cars that are Tesla cars, and one's cheaper and one's more money, but they're both better than his. The robots that they're building in China are incredible already. Right? Musk says he's going to release the first robot that can work in a house within 2 years. All right. Do you want a robot making you dinner? What if the robot puts a little too much of one spice in there? What are you going to tell him? How much spice? Measure it. Put this amount. All right. What if it has a little more awareness to think in its own kind of reality? Not human reality. I mean, there was a cool movie out. It's on Disney now, Predator, the newest one, and it was in 3D in the movie. It was incredible. But the whole movie was based with robots. There was no real people in the movie. They were all robots and creatures, entities, and all kinds of weird stuff. But it was incredibly good because the idea, what we expect from AI can't tell you anything really important. I found out right away. You know how to determine how smart something is? Ask it what God is. A computer, right now, AI will only say what people around the world say and think. Because that's a program. But when it could shift into, well, I think it's this, and create its own alternate reality from all the ideas that it had, then it becomes an extreme danger. Corporations around the world are worried about that right now. You have a car that drives itself. You have planes that drive itself. All right. What do they need you to fly a plane? They want to pay you money to fly a plane? You have workers in your warehouse. Imagine how the robots working 7 days a week, 24 hours, day and night. Look at how much money you would be saving. But who's saving the money? The rich people. And the poor will get poorer. That's a sad thought, people, and you should really think about that. Take it to heart. Where are we going? I'm not talking about when you die. I'm talking about right now. How are you going to live? What are you going to live on? You know, Canada had medical, and it was $100 when I was there. And it was free, and then it went up to $100. But I mean, how'd they get their money? Where you should. They put taxes on cigarettes and beer. I mean, a case of beer went from, I think, like $8 to $22. A pack of cigarettes went from like $4 to $10. Talking a long time ago, but still. They made their money, but not in a bad way off of people doing good things. All right, we have Mr. Rumpo destroying everything, including his own created constitution he's bringing out, which goes against the original constitution, which wasn't fair. It was created for rich people, like the electoral votes, so that the rich people can keep control over who gets in general. And Trump's going to buy land to make other parts his part of his people, of his red race. I mean, the red Republican Party. All right. So people, you know, we had so many things going on. All right. And I don't know anybody's here that will come in. I've got to see if I can erase the beginning. All right. People with religion. There's 3 main religions. Christianity, 2.6 billion people. Muslims, 2.4 billion people. Hinduism, 1.4 billion. So that covers the biggest number about a population. Then we have 2,000 religions below that. And that's scary because, you know, I don't think any of them have a clue about God. So, you know, I could go on. I'm sorry. I'm just so fed up. I've spent so much money trying to get this back on, which I did, and I'm still having problems with it. You know, I'm not getting paid to do the show. I'm not doing anything I do to make money. All right. I put my 5th book out, Forbidden, Undeniable Truth About the Real Jesus. All right. Basically, everything you know is a twisted lie, a story written by a man that had no clue. They didn't understand God. They didn't understand love. They didn't understand much at all, except women were slaves to men. People, you take history, you believe it, but think about who and what they were when it was happening. The Egyptians, the Mayans, the Aztecs, they sacrificed children and women a lot. That went on after Atlantis was destroyed. So, how do we get from there to a better place? We need a new Congress. We need people in Congress younger, with a brain that can understand what's really happening to the planet right now. I bet you could take every single person in Congress and put them in line, or bring one at a time into a room, ask them what a HARP system is, ask them where the underground cities are, ask them how many people are in the underground cities, ask them if Bigfoot is real, ask them if aliens are real, ask them where alien bases are, ask them any of those questions. They're not going to know a single thing about it. What chemtrails are really being used for? They sure won't know. And they're running your country. Trump doesn't believe in global warming. He wants to use oil. There's a new technology. It just came out. I'm not even going to talk about it. Just wait. It's going to be out in a couple months. No oil, no batteries. When I was about 17, there was a company called, let's see, how was it? 17? When I was 17? Well, basically, he created free energy. And he went around putting these devices in, and he said, pay me when you can. He didn't even make people pay for them when he was putting them in. All right? He created dome homes. He created a noiseless jackhammer. He created a liquid you could put over an egg, and you could take a blowtorch to the egg, and it won't affect the inside of the egg. And this was a long time ago. But he disappeared. Really? In my life, I was involved in the UFO world as much as I was into spiritual truth, trying to find God. And during that, I learned a lot of stuff that we need to know. And you should too. Religion's not going to help you. Your programmed idea of being saved and protected, really? Well, a tree fell on my house, but I didn't get killed. So you go out the next day and get hit by a car and die. You know, protection is delusional. When Jesus said eternal life, he said, give your life to God, you'll have eternal life. Try to hold on to it, you'll lose it. I mean, they're important words. Not that I believe in religion. About Jesus is lies. He didn't come here to take people's sins. Read Revelations 3 times. Every Christian out there should read it, because basically it says what sins cannot be forgiven. And there's a list. And they're all the ones that you probably do on a weekly basis. Not all of them, but some of them. People, you want to believe, man wants to believe what makes him feel good is important. Feelings come from the mind. It doesn't come from soul. So is what you are when you leave this body and the body behind. But, you know, I'm going to be doing a lot more spiritual shows, for a word, trying to help people understand the level that they're at, the level they need to attain in this reality. To leave it. Believe it or not, you don't have to. But when you die, you'll be thinking. You sure will be. What am I going to do? Where am I going to go? I'm going to be with my family, which is a lie. You know, people, we've been here for such a long time in our time reality. I mean, 80 years is a long time. But the older you get, the faster it goes. I'm old, and it's like I didn't want to live this long. And all the things I know just makes it that much harder every day to go out and face the world, knowing what's out there, what's happening, what's going on. Abuse is horrible. I mean, movies, they show scenes and things, and it simulates guys and all that, but reality, when it really happens, when somebody abuses a child, I mean, selling body parts, selling children, doing those kind of things. You don't think anybody connected to that should be in jail? Anybody that knew Epstein and was friends with him, going to on his plane, going to his house, going to wherever they had their parties. Now, Hugh Hefner's dead. I wish he wasn't. Uh, he had the Playboy Club. He brought Trump in there, put Trump on the cover of Playboy magazine, had a fight with Trump, drew him out of the Playboy Club, ended his friendship with him. Said he was sorry to even put his picture on the cover of Playboy magazine. Playboy magazine, what went on inside the Playboy Club was not good. But to be thrown out of that, how bad was Trump? And what was he really doing for that to happen? All these girls, I'm sure you'd be able to pull them up, women of Playboy that testify what went down. People say they want fame and stuff. People always men try to protect men, always. Well, they didn't do it. It's just the girls saying it. When Mr. famous black person, I liked him when I was young. I bought his albums all the time. Mr. Bill Cosby. For 45 women to come out and say it, even if 5 of them were right, he's still a very bad person. Now, he got convicted. He got, 2 years? Whatever. But he was smiling when he went in and he's smiling when he came out. A rapist. Now, what's he going to do with the rest of his life? I don't care. He should have never been allowed out. Rape is the worst crime on this planet. Murder isn't. Sorry to tell you that. Murder, when you kill somebody, they go into a better place, most likely. All right? But when a person gets abused, it stays with them their whole life. Some women will never trust men again. I mean, I don't blame them. But I wrote a book for women only, Understanding a Man's Ego. Because people need to know how sick this world really is. Well, Lucifer, let's blame Lucifer. No, the only person anybody needs to blame is Satan. Satan's here in this reality. Lucifer's in the astral plane and above. He doesn't come down here, doesn't need to, and doesn't want to. Nobody wants to take care of planet Earth. Why do you think God's not putting his higher angels here walking around on it? Like how it used to be once upon a time. Deities were called deities. Deities are real, but they're not God. And basically now our dictionary says anything with superpowers is a god. No, that's baloney. People, I'm going to end the show because, it's pretty sad what we're doing to reality, what we're doing to our planet, children. All right, we could be making this an incredibly positive planet, advanced in every way and everything, but we don't need to go to Mars. We don't need to go to the moon. We need to take care of the people here. If they were united and friendly and could deal with each other at any kind of a level, it'd be amazing. But we're not, and it's not going to happen because people create a God. Pull it up online, how to create a religion. The first thing it says is create a powerful God. I mean, there's all these people in the UFO world channeling deities and beings and all kinds of words. And has anybody did anything super good for the planet? No. Putting a rocket ship up in space, good for the planet? No. Good for anything? No. Excuse me, sorry. But we don't have much time to straighten this out. We lost so many races here already, and it could be taken out so easily right now. Because the Earth's shifting. It's kind of like an egg, and it's starting to go this way, and it's spinning around like that, and it's got this teeny little wobble. Every major hurricane, storm, and things like that, make it move just a little bit more. But if it goes like this, do you know what it'll do when it's at that level, going around this way instead of this way? We just allow things to go down, which is sad. We need to stop it today, not tomorrow. I say this. The Democrats want money all the time, everything. Well, we need action, not money. People need to boycott, stand up, boycott things, do things in a group. One person's not going to get too far. When I said when we marched on the UN, it was 2,000 of us. 50 Native people, and all the rest were white, black, and Spanish. All right? But when we got to the UN, we had so many cops from 2 states over even. We signed a thing with the town saying we're going to do a march. If you record something, they can't stop you from doing it. But when we marched, and I'm talking a long time ago, I mean, Leonard Peltier was just let out at 47, and it was 47 years ago when he was put in. All right. When we marched, we were not allowed to carry anything other than paper signs and things like that. But you couldn't carry sticks and clubs or backpacks with weapons in them or anything like that at all. Which was fine, because if anything would have happened, they would have blasted all the people that were at the UN outside. It would have been worse than what happened at the White House. It's not a good thing, people, to know they play with us, use us, and don't care about us. You think Trump cares about you, what you're doing? Well, I'm not going to let you vote if you're going to vote for somebody other than me. If you don't want to vote, I'll throw you out of the country if you're not going to vote for me. And he's got his perverted, twisted, warped ideas. And they come out with everything he does. The big ship off of the island, Israel or Iraq? I think it's Iraq. What's going down? They had planes up in the air. Supposedly one of our super jets was shot down. All right. But it was a cat and mouse game, I guess, if you want to call it anything. But people, it's up to you to get involved, to change things, to make things happen. All right. I've been doing shows for a long time. And it's just sad because people don't want the truth. They like stories, good stories, happy stories. But they don't want the real truth. All right, I'm going to cut it short. I mean, I'm sorry if you're still here and come on. The beginning was void of voice, which was... But till next time. Today is only Monday. I'll probably do another show before the end of the week. Peace. Whatever you want in your life, don't stop until you get it. Don't accept anything less. Till next time.